My friends, welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Raleigh Keegan. I am your perfect host, sinless, flawless Raleigh Keegan. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know if there's an intro for this or not. I'm not sinless or flawless, just in case you don't understand sarcasm. But here we are, my friends, another episode. And today, I get lots of DMs about what I'm doing during quarantine to stay busy and all the favorite things that I've done during quarantine. So I'm going to go through some of the questions I've got, and we're going to talk about how to get through quarantine, how I've gotten through quarantine. So I'm going to go through my faves. This podcast will be called FAVS during quarantine or something like that. And here's the question. People ask a lot, what's my favorite drink during quarantine? And I've got a lot, okay? So here's what I'm gonna a lot, as in there's 4. But I'm gonna say coffee, because number one, this is Raleigh's roast, so we're a coffee show. I drink probably, 6 cups of coffee a day, I'd say, maybe more. Some call that a problem. Others call that joy. Pick your poison. Another poison, speaking of poison, that I've gotten into recently, which is low carbohydrate, is tequila. This week, as of this week, filming this podcast was Cinco de Mayo, my friends. And that is a very important holiday for people like me who love Mexican food, all things Mexican food. If you have not seen the podcast of me talking about why Chipotle is the best burrito place, you gotta watch that because it's funny. So tequila with a little sparkling water. It's been pretty great for this quarantine. The always faithful yet dangerous bourbon. Can't have much of that anymore. Why? Because you just drink it too fast because it's so good. Not good for Raleigh Keegan. And then the always low carb and faithful light. The warm weather's coming, my friends. Michelob Ultra is back. It's back in Raleigh Keegan's fridge. I love it. It's good. Oh, favorite snack. I love this one. Okay, so speaking of things, how things progress in my life, okay? When you drink a little tequila, a little bourbon maybe a little Michelob Ultra, your self-control goes down a little bit. Then you pull out that big box of family-style Cheez-Its, okay? And what happens next should be banned from all households, but you'll find me on a couch somewhere, having the time of my life, eating a family-sized box of Cheez-Its. Don't do that, my friends. You wake up full of regret. So maybe this episode should be called What Not to Do During Quarantine, not faves during quarantine. But my favorite snack has been Cheez-Its because I've eaten so much of it. Favorite full meal. Okay, my family's been cooking lots of food, and it's been really great. We're about to move into a house that we're building, a nice little small house outside of Nashville. And so we're living with family right now, and super good cooks, super good. Last night we had chicken pot pie. Ooh, you don't even know how good that was. Ooh, but my favorite meal, Grandma Carol from up in Cincinnati sent us some steaks in the mail. So sweet of her. Those steaks were really good. That's been my favorite meal. This is my favorite question. What have I been listening to? Favorite album. Okay. And I recently discovered, because I've been a Brandy Clark fan for a while, but I haven't listened to all of her albums. So I've been listening through some Brandy Clark albums, and I am obsessed with her album 12 Stories. That is my album of the quarantine. I think it's one of the best country records I've heard in maybe ever. And also, I've been listening to the Beatles. And I'll tell you what, the Beatles are as good as advertised. Not that I didn't know that, but I've actually been listening. I've been listening to Revolver, their record Revolver, and Sgt. Pepper. I listen to those as I fall asleep, which has been fun and inspirational, because it's crazy to think they invented, without the Beatles, nothing, so much of American music wouldn't have existed. Ooh, okay, let's get down to the real nitty gritty. Favorite Netflix show of quarantine? I had too many, so I put multiple. Ozark, Outer Banks, Money Heist, and the always faithful Tiger King. If you've not seen Ozark, it's dark, but daggone, it's some of the best writing of any show I've ever seen. Outer Banks is good. If I was 17 again, it would be my favorite show, but I'm not 17 again, and it's still probably my favorite show. So negate everything that I just said. Money Heist is good, except they're talking in a they've overdubbed it to where you hear it in English, but their lips are moving in Spanish, but it's still really good. And then last but not least, the always comical Tiger King. It's so ridiculous. Without this quarantine, would Tiger King have gotten as big as it got? I don't know. We can thank this quarantine for Tiger King. Oh, favorite thing to do during quarantine. That would be write songs. I've written more songs over Zoom and Skype with people in Nashville than I would normally. I've written so many songs over this break, and it's been really great. I've loved the songs I've gotten. Least favorite thing during quarantine, that would be running out of Netflix shows, okay? There's nothing worse than when you're done with a show. You know that depression that everyone feels when you run out, when you're done with your series and you're like, I would kill for another season to be out right now. But guess what? It's not. That is the worst thing about quarantine, because you finish a show. Like, I finished Outer Banks in a day, and I was like, what do I do with life now? Might as well, I don't know, go kick a rock or something. I don't even know. So what I'm asking for is suggestions. I need new suggestions. I've seen it all, folks. Give me ones that are outside the box. All the normal ones I've seen. I've seen every show you could think of. So give me some good ones that I'm not thinking of in the comments. Thing I miss the most. This is the last one. Thing that I miss the most. And I would say this. Literally just sitting at a restaurant, drinking a big, fat, unhealthy draft beer and people watching. I love to sit at restaurants. I get a lot of song ideas by doing that, just sitting and listening and watching. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to where I can just sit and be waited on. Man, I sound like a terrible person. I can't wait to go back to a restaurant, eat mac and cheese with some buffalo chicken, drink a big fat 32-ounce Michelob Ultra, sit there and listen to the sounds and the sights of the people. My friends, this quarantine, we can do this. We can get through this together. I hope that you enjoyed this little episode of all of my favorite things during quarantine and least favorite things. But guys, we can make it through this. We're so close, I think. I'm no CDC expert, but I know I'm immune to coronavirus because I make up, science is science. Kidding, for those of you that can't tell. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. If you have ideas of what you want me to talk about, give them to me in the comments. And new music is coming soon. This week, I guess it'll be out this week if you're watching this Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, whenever. New song's coming out Friday. It's called Strawberry Moon, and it's going to be great, and I'm super excited. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all very soon. Until next time.